Celebrating and commemorating St. Simon and St. Jude have reminded me of a few things, but I would like to mention three. One, you may celebrate them this St. Simon, St. Jude. Lord, have reminded me of the mission principle where he recorded in Luke chapter 10 verse 1, where Jesus had called them the 72 and sent them 2 by 2. And you may look at these two saints, these two apostles, to carry out this principle. So we are reminded of the mission principle. And also we are reminded of the life and faith of St. Simon and St. Jude, despite the challenges and the difficult situations to encounter them, to in mission and doing ministry to God's people were to called for doing that mission until to murdered, to become martyred. And also we are reminded that Melanesian Brotherhood in this celebration, we continue to make historical connection to the founder of the Melanesian Brotherhood. On this day, also he dedicated him life through the promises he made to search for the lost Melanesian souls, where all white missionaries reach out to some of our places in Melanesia. And this founder, with them companions and brothers plan, only reach out for the souls of our Melanesian brothers. This year, 2023, our celebration today, may also marking the transition of the training of novices. Lord, have come to take full membership through the vows of chastity, poverty, and obedience, and ready to enter into the battlefield. And also, he marking the end of this 15th Melanesian Brotherhood and Companion Great Conference. And we also marking the end of Great Conference within this period of 100 years. And looking forward for the 16th Great Conference, which to be the first Great Conference into the next era of 100 years. And fourthly, it makes the expansion and reminding Yumi, because Lord Yumi marking this celebration for the expansion of our mission as a church to other parts of the world through the work of the Melanesian Brotherhood companions, including achievements, our struggles for peace in our society, our unity in diversity, founded in the faith of Jesus Christ. 2 years before we celebrate the centenary, the era of 100 years of our mission, the mission of the brothers and companions, I guess this theme of this 15th conference is appropriate and timely, given to us to reconsider some significant events before we enter into the next era of 100 years. Empowering the Melanesian Brotherhood and companions values for Christ's discipleship, the theme is asking us to look back through this period of 100 years, to some extent assess how the society itself can be impacting the church as a whole and the life of the so-called religious communities of brotherhood and its companion. And this theme made me asking you, if we look back, we find where some of our values are fading, then it may be time lo you may retrieve him, you may repossess him. These values of our Christian identity and the so-called religious community, a community of brotherhood and its companions. And also, it is our belief that when we retrieve and get hold of these values and strengthen these values within a community, then we believe we will become effective disciples of Christ. And we become effective, and then you may apply the call of Christ. Lord, you may go out. You may reach out to other peoples everywhere. Lord, you may make them all get to become deep disciples of Christ. And also, during this period of 100 years, which in a long time by you may celebrate him, you may also need to come and also admit that within this last decade of the church, society Bloyomi, or the church Bloyomi, may experience a lot of uncommon upheavals within our church, within our society. First, the global pandemic. Global pandemic has come as a shock inside the society Bloyomi. When he come, he separate him yume, he isolate him yume, you may not have a talk good. You may fight for it, you may fight them each other, and really he carry one impact inside the society, or inside all institutions Bloyomi. Social unrest, he come inside, he may affect them society Bloyomi. Disasters may affect them, you may too, within especially the Melanesian countries. Political instability, economic crisis may also carry big impacts on the society, the all people Bloyomi. Tribal warfares may also affect them people Bloyomi. Losum homes blow all get, losum lives blow all families blow you. The expansion of technologies in terms of media and internet access, these two have an impact the society, more all individual persons where you may live within the society and also within the institutions of the church. And the rise of sectarianism and secularism. These are uncommon upheavals where heavy impacting church Bloyomi, society Bloyomi, family Bloyomi, all institutions Bloyomi. All these social upheavals have plan the impacts of human society. And you may not have deny it. It is in front of us. We feel it, we see it with our own eyes. Unfolding changes happen. Changes in behavior, attitudes, and mindset of people Bloyomi. For instance, inside the church, you may look in church attendance may become optional. Man hemi like colo prayer, hemi colo prayer. Hemi got big impacts inside the church Bloyomi. Inside the all village churches, inside the all institutions Bloyomi. This you may look at. Urban drift hemi come big one. With them substance abuse. Hemi became those victims. Especially, you may look at those with them all broken homes, only traumatized, then continue to involved in many issues inside the urban centers, unwanted pregnancies. This Yumilukim Hemi on the rise. And which Hemi call for more parental care, more teachings regarding the real situation of life that we live with. Sometimes you may hesitate to teach, but it's about our time. Family breakdowns, divorces, we look in marriage, the value of marriage, other factors have come in and taken place of love. Money have come in. Have become planted broken homes. Land disputes, child trafficking, and many more. You may survey, tell them all contexts where you may live. And also, inside law institutions, you may find them suicides or piccaninny, were only affected with them broken homes. They cannot continue to cope because no karem selen, no sabe pay school fee. Therefore, they cannot continue. And they decide, Lord, take him life, Lord. These suicides have me on the rise inside the society, Lord, you mean. It is sad mentioning this because they are our members. They are our families. They are part of the church community. The church, as a church, it is our responsibilities to continue to look more and see what we can do to help our situation. I am sure you may take in some attempts for you may addressing these issues. Yet we also want to admit that this current of modern changes have been very strong. But again, without God, without God's help, and without clear structured plan, by again. But if we focus on God and seek God's Holy Spirit with clear strategic plans, I believe we will help our people and our society to progress. And this is what we call in this era hidden modernism. This is the most difficult evangelism the church must enter into. But with God's spiritual empowerment, I believe gradually we can achieve by building a strong society, a strong brotherhood community, a strong sisterhood community, and a strong institution inside the church. When we talk of our society impacted with all these social upheavals, you may look inside the first reading, the same Isaiah had been also pointed out. Isaiah had been lived in the latter half of the 8th century BC during the time when Assyria had become a threat to the kingdom of Jude, the southern region, the southern kingdom. But inside the book of Isaiah this morning, inside the text, Isaiah had not talked about Assyria. Had not gathering people, this is how, Baba, you may gather and prepare ourselves, Lord, you may meeting these Assyrians. Isaiah had became that one. Isaiah had been concerned about the internal or the personal attitudes of his people. Let me talk about the sins of the people. Let me talk about the sins of the people. Let me say, the people blame. They start to get a wrong mindset, a change of mindset. They start to forget what their ancestors did and bring them into the land of Canaan. Now only go against them. They start to divide themselves between tribes. Although all they live inside the one kingdom, but they divided themselves into tribes. They only care, one tribe only care for one tribe's plan. People start to go their own ways, and many associated themselves with pagans. They have lost trust in themselves as God's chosen race, as God's chosen people. Many had intermarried with those who worship other gods. The values surrounding the covenant they made with God as their God and them as God's only chosen race has gradually fading away. Isaiah, whose responsibility was to guide the spiritual life of his people, frankly pointed out the sins committed by the people of Judah. Such attitudes in verse 15, Isaiah characterized them as liars and fraudulent. You are bringing disasters upon yourselves. Part of verse 15. Hemi said, you made a treaty with death and have signed an agreement with the world of death, and that your lives will be spared in all times of disaster. According to Isaiah, the only person to spare your life during all times of disaster is God alone. That is what Isaiah wanted reminding people plan. Now you have gone astray and sinned against God. You denied God as the cornerstone, the foundation of your faith and sustainer of life. Because you denied the covenant God had made with you, and now you have signed another covenant with the dead, precisely you are bringing chaos and instability into your life, your families, and the entire community. And Syria is inevitable to capture you and take advantage of your properties. The verse 16, Isaiah plainly announced the message of God to the people. God hemi talem lo Isaiah hemi proclaimed to his people this message. I am placing you, I am placing in Zion a foundation that is firm and strong. In it, I am putting a solid cornerstone in which are written the words, faith that is also patient. Zion is another name for Jerusalem. It's a holy place, a place to worship God. In order for people of Judah to return to God, they need to go back to the basic values surrounding the holiness of Jerusalem and have faith in that God who is worshipped there as creator, protector, and sustainer of their lives. And be patient in all circumstances, which means they should think before deciding to do anything to avoid severe repercussions. Second reading, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 19 to 22. Paul had me write to call over the Christians in Ephesus to clarify perhaps a misunderstanding within the congregation. Christian Jews regarded the Gentiles as strangers and not fully member of the church congregation. In order to be fully member, Gentiles need to go through the customs and Jewish traditional practices. Paul, in response to the matter, he said, Gentiles are not foreigners or strangers. Jews and Gentiles are built upon the foundation laid by the apostles and prophets, the cornerstone who being Christ Jesus himself who holds everyone together. Therefore, your diversities should be founded on the one foundation, Jesus himself, his life and teaching, and not to be diverted by any other beliefs or any other traditions. In the gospel reading, John chapter 15 verse 17 to 27, Jesus again reminded us of the core Christian value, which is love. But this time, this Christian core value is given in a form of command. Verse 17. This then is what I command you. Love one another. This is a Christian obligation that we must carry out. You sabe inside the army, you carry all commanders. The commander he command that you should. If you no should, you either carry severe punishment or you yourself will be shot because you don't carry out command. So here, love one another is a command. It's a must that we, as being called as Christians, followers of Christ, we must love one another. Families, Christian families, we have come from different places. From England, Australia, Philippines, PNG, Vanuatu, and within our different dioceses in Solomon Islands and the nearby communities, just simply to be here, just for one reason. We have love for God. We love our church. We love God. We love our church. And we are here because we love our brotherhood. And we want to give support for our brotherhood. Therefore, that is the reason, that's the only reason why we are here. Because we love God and you may reflect them to our neighbors. And that is why we are here.